I'm sorry I got interrupted. My batteries went out on the camera. Well, anyway, so this kind of covers this in a nutshell of what we're doing here with the external contactor. Very important. We highly recommend it. You should not operate the generator with a load immediately attached at startup. Now, if you want to build a transfer switch, this can be done again with we have a sample suggestion. You have to check with the electrical code in your area of what this is required to do. But it's in here, and I just wanted to show you something. This is an Allen Bradley contactor, which can switch up to 75 kW. And this is something we would use. This is approximately, that's quite some juice. This is over 200 amps, which this will switch. And this we use for the incoming mains, which would go to your electrical supply. This thing is quite heavy. You got, basically when you operate this with the split phase or single phases, you're putting L1 on here and L2 on here, and you leave the middle center tab open. And we do this for precaution because the load, the biggest work for the contactor to accomplish is when the power shuts down, when it has to disconnect the two loads when there's something attached to it. And this is sized for 200 amp service panel. So this is something what that would look like it. And basically we would use one normally closed switch as our starter, which wires into our circuit board here to remote start this. And basically the coils of this unit are operated. So you hook this up to your mains coming in, then you take two of the wires and you go directly into one of these fuses here. These are midget fuses, and they in turn hook up to a control transformer which supplies us with 120 volts, and it also supplies us with 24 volts AC, so you have two different control voltages in the system. And actually that works a lot, there we go. That works a lot better. This is one of those 50 watt V8 control transformers, and this thing basically mounts on top here, and then you feed it in and you have a control. And basically what this is, this contactor is self-holding. That means if you have power coming in through your mains, this will activate your coil, which is a 120 volt coil in this case. And this transformer has enough juice and it has a 120 volt output. So the coil is basically wired up into the transformer, and the transformer can be disconnected from the mains via these pullable midget switches, fuses. And if the power drops out, this auxiliary contact here, which is operated with the contactor, will be activated, and that turns on the generator. And then we have another normally open contact here on this unit, which is the one from the generator, which is wired with this coil here. So if this one is activated, this cannot come on, and if this is activated, this one cannot come on. What will happen first is that when the power comes back on, the unit here will turn on. The unit will not turn on immediately. What happens is the transformer will be powered up. The transformer over a separate relay basically is going to disconnect our start signal or our run start signal from our circuit board, and then that will drop off this contactor. It will put the MEP generator into cool down and allow this one here automatically to come back on. So you have this flawless switch. These two contactors are never on at the same time. They lock each other out. And the switching times are fairly slow. That will probably take 500 to 750 milliseconds to actually do a full switch on either one of those two. So while one is switching, the other one cannot engage basically. One has to be in an off state before the other one can come on. We call this break before make connection, contact. This is just roughly on what this is going to look like. Again, the manual describes all of these things in detail. and I didn't feel like building all of this stuff. You may want to get yourself a fiberglass enclosure. This is an EMA 4X type enclosure which we're using, and you can then mount your units, however you want to do this, whatever is appropriate for your particular situation and circumstance. Now, if you just want to have like a MEP generator as a power source for 3-phase in your workshop, then you could, for instance, just use a regular flip type switch, regular 110 volt switch to switch your 24 volt signal for the on to start the generator. And then when the generator is ready, it will automatically kick this, contactor in, and you would attach your lathe or whatever equipment you have, 3-phase equipment on it. You let it run, and when you're finished working with your equipment, you just go back, flip the switch, and the unit will then shut itself basically down. That is to simplify this kind of operation. We really didn't want to get into something more complicated because the MEP generator has only a oil pressure switch, and a overheat switch. And the bigger units, the 04 and 05 or 06, they have actual sensors. That means we can read an analog signal and can exactly determine what the oil pressure is and what the exhaust and water temperature is, or the engine temperature in that particular case. One thing which we will be doing in the future is we're going to have a conversion kit for the governor for your RPM regulation, where this unit will set itself to exactly 60 hertz no matter what load it is. It will take only approximately 5 milliseconds to respond and increase the RPM on your generator to change it, so when your load drops and increases, it will automatically bump up the RPM on your generator. And that will basically gives you a short tutorial, a short idea of what is going to come. Is I had to use the regular camera, the low resolution camera, because our HD camera doesn't work right. We don't have the correct disc for it to actually tape on it or record on it. So I had to use this. We will be updating those videos as the time permits. We just wanted to get started here somewhere to give you some ideas. And of course, you always can reach us via email. The next thing I'm going to show you, we put the generator away. I have to kind of get back there with the camera, and then I show you roughly on how the stuff is all connected and what that looks like. Okay? Thank you.